Welcome back to Second Bloom Journey, where every story begins with purpose, power, and potential. I'm Thủy Trương, and if you are new here, this is your safe space for navigating life and cultural transitions with confidence and grace.
Living as your own luxury brand, the power of quiet presence. Dear friends, you've crossed the bridge that others never had to build. Whether you moved between countries, cultures, social circles, or life phases, you carry within you the wisdom of transformation. You know what is meant to reinvent yourself, to adapt, to find your footing on familiar ground. At this stage of your life, you learned that true power isn't bound in loud declarations or desperate attempts to prove you belong. It's found in the quiet certainty of a woman who has navigated storms and emerged not just intact, but refined. Imagine walking into a room where everyone is speaking rapidly, competing for attention, trying to establish their place in the hierarchy. But when you enter, something shifts. Without needing to announce your credentials or prove your worth, the energy changes. Eyes turn toward you. Conversations flow. It isn't because what you're wearing or what titles you hold. It's because you carry yourself like the rare gem you become through your journey of transformations. This is the power of presence, the luxuries that cannot be purchased, that no one can grant you, that no transitions can take away. In a world that often overlooks women who have had to rebuild themselves, your conscious presence becomes revolutionary. You've been told to be grateful for fresh starts, grateful for second chance, grateful for opportunities to reinvent yourself. And while gratitude is beautiful, it's what is never meant to shrink you into accepting less than you deserve in your new chapters. My friends, your worth wasn't determined by how smoothly you navigate your transitions. It wasn't measured by how quickly you adapted or how seamlessly you fit into new environments. Your value existed before your transformations and continues to exist regardless of who recognizes it in your current season. Think of Maya Angelou, who reinvented herself multiple times, from trauma survivor to dancer, to activist, to acclaimed author. She didn't let any single transition define her limitations. Instead, she understood that each phase of transformation added layers to her brilliance, depth to her wisdom, and authenticity to her voice. As a woman who has navigated significant culture and life transitions, you carry wisdom that spans different worlds, resilience that has been tested by change, and perspectives that bridge gaps others cannot cross. You're not here to blend in, you're here to contribute unique brilliance that only someone with your journey can offer. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Recognizing your worth means being willing to walk away from anything that doesn't honor the woman you've become. That environment that still treats you like who you used to be. So relationships that can't see your evolutions. So opportunities that ask you to play small to make others comfortable. Sometimes, loving yourself means having the courage to outgrow what no longer fits. Through your transitions, you've learned that not every space requires your explanation. Not every question about your journey deserves your energy. You've discovered the profound power of strategic silence. Not the silence of uncertainty, but the silence of a woman who chooses her battles wisely. Picture this. You're in the situations where people are making assumptions about your background, your choice, your capabilities. While they exhaust themselves with their narratives, you remain centered, observing, choosing whether their opinions deserve your engagement. When you do not choose to speak, your words carry weight because they know when she speaks, it's intentional. This isn't about hiding your story or being ashamed of a journey. This is about understanding that your transformations has given you the wisdom to know when sharing serves you and when silence serves you better. Your silence becomes a mirror, forcing others to confront their own assumptions, their own limitations, their own need to categorize and diminish what they don't understand. And in that space, you maintain your power while they reveal their narrow thinking, protecting your energy like a sacred resource it is. Through every transition, you learned that energy is not unlimited. You've given so much to adapting, to rebuilding, to proving yourself in new environments, to supporting others through their own change. Your energy has been the fuel of your transformation. But now, you're learning that energy is not just fuel, it's sacred currency. You understand now that not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every crisis requires your intervention. Not every opportunity that comes your way is meant for you. You learn the art of discernment, the ability to distinguish between what serves your growth and what merely demands your energy. You're learning to say no without lengthy. No, because your energy is precious. No, because your time is limited. No, because you finally understand that every yes to something that doesn't align with your value is a no to something that could transform your life. The people who truly value the woman you become will respect your choices. Those who don't were never meant for your inner circle anyway, building unshakable boundaries. Your transitions have taught you that boundaries aren't walls that keep good things out. They are gardens that protect the sacred within. You've learned the hard way that what happens when you have no boundaries. You become everyone's solutions while remaining your own last priority. Coming from experience where you may have had to be flexible, accommodating, or adaptive to survive transitions. Establishing firm boundaries can feel foreign, but boundaries aren't about being difficult. They are about being clear. They are about teaching people how to engage with the woman you are now, not who you used to be. You're learning that "I need to think about that" is a complete sentence. That doesn't work for me requires no further explanation. That protecting your peace is not selfish, it's essential. Your boundaries become your declaration. I have learned my worth through my journey, and I would not accept treatment that contradicts it. The deep work of inner integration. While others chase external validation, you're doing the profound work of integrating all the versions of yourself you've been. You're not trying to erase your past or pretend your transitions never happened. You're weaving them into a magnificent tapestry of experience and wisdom. This inner work isn't glamorous or social media worthy. It's sitting with the grief of who you had to leave behind to become who you are. It's embracing the parts of your journeys that felt messy or uncertain. It's honoring both your struggles and your triumphs are equally sacred parts of your story. But this inner integration is what transforms you from someone seeking approval to someone emanating authenticity. People are drawn to this integrated authenticity because it's rare, precious, and impossible to fake. You become magnetic not because you're perfect, but because you are whole, your distinctive present. Your transitions have carved you into someone completely unique. You carry the wisdom of multiple worlds, the resilience of repeated reinventions, the grace of someone who has learned to bloom wherever she is planted. This creates a presence that is unmistakably yours. Your distinctive presence isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the most authentic one. It's the way you carry your multicultural wisdom, your hard-earned confidence, your quiet strength. It's knowing that your journey has prepared you to offer something to every space that no one else can provide. You don't need to announce your worth. It radiates from the way you move through the world with purpose and peace. Living as your own luxury brand. A luxury brand never compromises its core value to attract more customers. It maintains its essence, its quality, its standards, knowing that the right people will recognize and seek out its value. You, my friend, are learning to live by the same principles. You don't discount your wisdom because others can't immediately see its value. You don't settle for opportunities that ask you to diminish yourself because they are available. You don't shrink your dreams to fit others' limited version of what's possible for someone with your background. Instead, you show up consistently as the woman your journey has crafted you to become. You maintain your standards. You choose depth over surface, quality over quantity, alignment over acceptance. You understand now that exclusivity isn't about keeping others out. It's about knowing what belongs in your life and what doesn't. The revolutionary act of self-acceptance. In a world that profits from your insecurity about your transitions, complete self-acceptance is revolutionary. For women who've been taught to apologize for their journeys, celebrating every twist and turn is radical. You're learning that self-acceptance isn't about thinking you are perfect. It's about recognizing that your imperfections, your detours, your do-overs are all part of your unique value. Your transitions haven't made you broken, they made you rare. When you fully accept your journey, the beautiful, the messy, the triumphant, and the challenging, You stop seeking validation from others about whether your path was right or acceptable. The wisdom of selective sharing. Your transitions have given you stories, insights, and the wisdom that could help countless of others. But you also learned the importance of sharing your pulse only with those who can recognize its value. Not everyone deserves access to your transformation story. You choose carefully who gets to hear about your journey, not from shame, but from discernment. You understand that your story is like all-powerful medicine. It should be administered thoughtfully to those who are ready to receive its healing. My friends, your transition haven't taken you away from who you were meant to be. They carved away everything that wasn't truly you. Every bridges you crossed, every culture you navigated, every reinvention you undergone has been preparation for this moment. Your second bloom. You don't need to be louder to be heard. You don't need to be smaller to be loved. You don't need to explain your journey to be accepted. You simply need to be unapologetically, authentically, powerfully the integrated woman you become. Walk into every room knowing you belong there, not because someone gave you permission, but because your present, refined by transitions, is a gift to that space. Speak when you have something valuable to contribute, and let your silence speak when words aren't needed. You are not a discount version trying to compete with those who had smoother path. You are a luxury experience, rare, valuable, and worth the investment. So who's recognized your worth will rise to meet it. So who don't simply haven't developed the discernment to appreciate true value. Your journey of transformation isn't over. It's ongoing. But now you navigate change not as someone trying to survive it, but as someone who has learned to thrive through it. You moved from being shaped by your transitions to being the conscious architect of your transformations. Step into your power. Claim your space. Live your integrated truth. The world needs exactly what unique journey has equipped you to offer. This is your second bloom. This is your time. This is your luxury brand life. If this message resonates with your heart, if you see yourself in these worlds, share it with another woman navigating her own transition. Together, we transform. Together, we bloom.